Well, hello everybody. We're gonna make another video, and today we have a few different topics to touch on in our continuation of trying to help the haunted house industry improve their businesses and help them become more successful. Why wouldn't you want to be more successful? And you know, in one of my last videos, and if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it, because I talked about like some of the things that could be done to make the haunted house industry stronger, better, more successful. And if the vendors want to sell more stuff, then they would be backing what I'm saying 1000%, which is we need better seminars, period. And I'm just gonna say this. Maybe somebody will say, Larry, you're being mean. No, I'm not being mean when I'm telling the truth. The people who are currently helping Transworld figure out their seminar topics, they should be fired. Or another way to put it is go in a different direction, okay? Because these seminar topics are redonkulous. And then the same speakers every time, or in one haunt's case, your entire family and everybody who works for you is a speaker. It's out of hand, okay? And I'm not saying these people aren't qualified or anything. I'm saying the speakers that you need at these seminars aren't people we've already heard do seminars 1,000 times, but people who have never done a seminar, like getting people there from Google, getting people there from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, getting a digital marketing company, getting safety experts, okay? Imagine if like one of the big writers of insurance had a seminar and they talked about like the common lawsuits, things that they're seeing that you should look into and avoid to make your haunt safer. These are just a couple examples. But today, I'm going to talk about another topic, which would be great seminars. Wouldn't it be great if a really good photographer and a really good videographer, somebody who's really good, and I'm not talking about just somebody that is offering this service to the haunt industry and they're absolutely mediocre. I'm talking about somebody who's actually really good at it, where you can go to their website and you can see their photos, you can see their videos, and you can say to yourself, wow, that's really good. Now, I'm going to talk today about something that might hurt a lot of you people's feelings, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. Some of you haunts, including really good ones, and I would even go as far as to say at least one of the biggest haunts in the country, and you look at their YouTube page and you go, wow, these YouTube videos are not that good. Not to the level of the notoriety of the haunt. That tells me they need to hire somebody. They need to hire somebody better, and they can afford it. When you look at, say for example, a haunt in Atlanta, you would think you would be able to find people to come and do your videos because they make so many movies there. In Baton Rouge, another example, when you look at 13th Gate videos, they're really good. But why? They've got a lot of film going on in Baton Rouge. If you're in Los Angeles, and by the way, I'm not picking on any haunt specifically, like if you're in Atlanta, Los Angeles, Baton Rouge. I'm saying these are the markets where they're making a lot of movies. Los Angeles, you would think, if you're in Los Angeles, you probably could hire somebody to do really good photography and to do really good videography. And not only that, but to like craft it into some sort of trailer. And I'm trying to think, I think it's fair to say if you're in New York City, where they also make a lot of movies, probably in Orlando. Why Orlando? Because there's a lot of influencers in Orlando. But anyway, if you're in any of these markets, it should be a no-brainer to get people to come and shoot your haunt, take photos and videos. So I can tell you that when it comes to videography and photography, I would say I'm not very bad. I'm not that bad at all. In fact, I'm actually really creative on the video. And a lot of the stuff that you see for the darkness or creepy world or whatever, I shot most of it. I would say most of it I shot myself. But I would also say the best stuff that was ever shot was when I hired someone to come in and do it for me. Because one of the biggest problems with the haunted house industry is you are an industry of do-it-yourselfers, okay? You want to do everything yourself, which that's really the mind-boggling part when you're not doing your own digital marketing. You're hiring a really terrible company who, in my opinion, is not very good at what they do, and you're just wasting your money. Do-it-yourselfer would definitely focus more on trying to figure out how to do the digital marketing yourself, okay? Because that's something you realistically can do. But you know what you can't do if you're not good at it is you can't take good photos and you can't take good videos. Now, I can tell you, this is just my opinion. There's one company floating around, I don't even know the name of them, and they asked if they could come film at the darkness. They wanted $5,000 to come do a video. I think that's an absurd number, because these videos literally take almost nothing to edit together, and because they're short, 30 seconds, maybe you get a 60-second version as well. But there's so many people that do it. You definitely don't need to pay $5,000. But what do you need to pay? Is it worth it to have a really good photographer come into your haunted house and shoot video clips while at the same time shooting photos? Absolutely. And how would you do that? I'm going to explain it to you, because that's what I do. You really only need like 3 or 4 actors, and if you have a lot of silicone masks, this really helps, because then you could do a lot of characters, and you could do multiple characters in one day. But what you want to do is you want to get into some of your best scenes, and you want to have a really good photographer, and they're going to take photos of the actors. But then when they're done with that, they can get video clips. So do a quick turnaround, like I'm going to walk away, you're going to chase me, real slow. Come out from behind that corner, just like really quick clips of the actors doing something, but not with weapons in their hands, because a lot of times you won't get the video approved. But you can do a photo shoot and a video shoot at the exact same time. So really what you're mainly looking for is clips. And if you're shooting, you could, while that photographer's there, you could have them get a couple different angles of some of your best animations, especially if you have big ones from a company like Unit 70 or Scare Factory. And you can kind of just get a lot of those clips, and you want as many clips as you can. Now, we just did a photo shoot in the darkness, and we were only in there for, 3 or 4 hours, and we did about 60 to 80 clips, okay? Now, some of them are going to be terrible, some of them are going to be good. It's a mix. Now, but how much is this worth? Well, it's worth whatever it costs if you get a good if you get a lot of video clips and you can make multiple videos out of it. If you can get a lot of photos, and you definitely need to make sure that they put your logo, like they edit the photos and then put your logo on every single one. What do you do with these photos? Well, like when you're posting something about like you're gonna open or you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that on Instagram, you use the photo and then you put the text in. You can do the same thing on Facebook, same thing on Twitter/X, whatever you wanna call it. And then when you get all these video clips, you can make Instagrams, TikToks, you can make YouTubes, you can make long videos, short videos, you can make everything. And then the other thing you can do with the photos is you can make headers, okay? So you make a header that says, you know, your logo, and it's got a mixture of different photos. You can use them on your website. You can use them on mass emails, okay? There's so many things you can do with the photos. You can make billboards out of them. You can put them on your tickets. You can put them on pretty much everything, okay? So they're really invaluable. Now, if you're good with Photoshop, you can take these photos and you could throw like now hiring actors. You could put, you know, anything that you want on the photos, but you need the photos. You need the photos. And then whoever did the photos for you, you could actually ask them, hey, can you put my logo on all of them? But could you also put like these different slogans on them for me? And then like, you know, pay one big batch, have them sent to you, and then you have a lot of great content. So when it comes to digital marketing, it's something that maybe you're not great at, but you could figure it out enough to do it yourself. But the photography and the videography, you couldn't. And when I said a little bit ago that I'm gonna say something that, you know, maybe not everybody is, maybe it's gonna hurt some feelings of people, but I would say that over 90% of haunts out there have bad content. Now, it's either bad content that you're putting on social media, it's bad content that you're putting out as advertisements, or it's bad content that you have on your website. And how do you fix that? Well, it'd be nice if you could get a Photoshop person, but they need content to do a better job. Where do you get the content? You hire a photographer and you do a photo shoot. Now, getting back to this one company that wanted $5,000. And by the way, I'm not like literally trying to trash them or anything. But like when I saw their videos, I just kind of like, I didn't like them that much because they're showing a lot of actors like running at you in poor makeup. And I just think that's not good, okay? I don't think when you take these photos, unless you can do like a bang up job and that actor looks like he could literally go right into a movie, I wouldn't do makeup. I would do silicone masks. That's what I would do. And so that's one of the reasons why you want to buy silicone masks, so that you can do these kinds of photo shoots. You obviously need good costumes. You need to make sure that their hands aren't exposed. That's a big thing. So you can get those silicone like sleeves for their hands. You could also get gloves. You could get whatever matches the costume. And then of course, if you want to go crazy, you can get, eye contacts or something like that. Or you can have Photoshop like glowing red eyes, glowing green eyes, and really blow them up. But like if you took a lot of these kind of photos and you sent them to a company like Brainstorm, for example, they could take these photos and doctor them up and doll them up or whatever, but you need the content first. So what should every haunted house be doing right now? They should be doing photo shoots in their haunted house. Why? Because it's not hot yet. It's really hard to do it in the summer because it's so freaking hot, okay? You want to be doing these photo shoots in the spring or the winter, or if you really are a procrastinator, you can do them in the fall, but it's really almost too late. You really should be doing it right now. And I mean, like, you should have been doing it yesterday. So that's what we're doing here at The Darkness. For the last couple days, we've been shooting our escape rooms. We've been shooting all the new scenes in the haunted house, including scenes from last year because we didn't shoot any of them. And I can tell you another thing that I am doing right now. I have a group that I'm working with, okay? And, it could be extended out to some other people. But I have some people that are making content. And then some of it we provided them photos or quick clips and things, or they're just doing it on their own. And I have a collection of haunts going in together so that we can all reduce the cost of creating a lot of content. And you could do the same thing, because what you could do is you could like go in with 3 or 4 or 5 of your haunt buddies, and you guys could hire somebody to create this content for you. Because I really don't think the content needs to be necessarily from your haunt. In other words, you know, it can be where you're purchasing, like on Shutterstock. I really don't think it matters when you're posting something on Instagram. It's about what you're saying that matters. But the image being a little eye-catchy helps. But whenever you're just shooting an actor and he's at a really cool pose, all you're really seeing in the background is very little. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where he comes from. And that's why the silicone masks really come in handy, because you could share that content with more than one person. So I just want to say that if you are trying to get your haunt over the hump, like, oh, you're stuck on, you know, X amount of people and you're trying to get over the hump, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what if I go buy a bunch of animations? That's not going to get you over the hump. What if I go buy a bunch of new costumes? That's not going to get you over the hump. What if no, that's not going to work either. Okay? It's first impression. First impression. It's that content that you put on your website. It's that content that you put out there on social media. It's that content that you're actually spending your hard-earned money on to promote for people to come. So if you have a bunch of really corny actors and really corny makeup, okay, your haunted house is going to be perceived as, you know, second-rate entertainment. And by the way, you could have the best haunt in the world, but with the wrong trailer and the wrong message and the wrong first impression, you're losing customers. That's just a reality. So here's my suggestion to all the haunts out there. Find yourself a good photographer. Shoot your haunt. Get that content going right now. Because what's coming around the corner? You might be doing a summer sale. You could use the content for that. You might be trying to recruit actors. You can use it for that. There's so many things. Letting people know. You could literally take these pictures and you could put, you know, 30 days till we open, 10 days till we open. You could put any kind of graphic over it, but you need the content. And it's not just photos. You're going to get videos at the same time, because you also need to make videos that can go on Snapchat, TikTok. And then you need horizontal or vertical. Horizontal for YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. And then you need a whole different size for Instagram. That's 3 different sizes. You need that content. And then you gotta find somebody that can not only, which would help you, edit that content, put your logos on that content, but maybe like the video, they could edit it together. Just saying. This is very important, and it's something you should be doing now. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, because you're going to try to do it in August, you're going to try to do it in July, and you're going to find out, wow, it's so freaking hot in here, it's impossible. Especially if you're going to try to do makeup. Woo! That's just going to drip right off. So you should make this a priority. This should be a big priority. And by the way, I would also say this to a lot of haunts that are trying to get over the hump. If you have a budget and you go to Transworld, and by the way, I'm certainly not telling you to buy more props, because props help. But if you can only spend $20,000 in a year, well, that's not really a lot to grow your business to the level you want. But I would take $5,000 or $10,000 of that money and not put it into new props and put it into hiring a good Photoshop. Get better graphics so that you could also turn it into better signage. Didn't think about that, did you? Signage is your haunt, billboards, social media content. This will all help you grow your haunt. So then the next year, because you did so much better Instead of spending $20,000 annually, and this last year you only spent 10 because you spent 10 on what I'm telling you to spend it on. And now you go to the show the next year and go, wow, we really improved our business. And so now I'm not spending 20 like I normally do. I'm going to spend 40 because I made so much more revenue. I'm telling you, this is important. There's other things that are important too, like making your haunted house with a lot of opportunity for your customers to make content, and then letting them know how to share it with you. Very important. Very important. I talk to haunted house owners that say we haven't even paid attention to any of that stuff because we're so busy building the haunt. Well, maybe you should get so busy trying to grow your attendance, because if you did, you'd be able to hire more people to help you set up the haunt. So why is it that you can't walk and chew gum? Does this make sense? Walk and chew gum. Because I can tell you right now, and I just want to say this, I'm going to make another video about this, but this renovation that we're doing to the darkness, I keep calling it once in 10 years. The reason we did, and I just want to address this because I think it's important. The reason why we did a butcher house theme, very cliche, because I knew that I was going to have a lot of problems getting something turned over quickly enough between the end of Krampus and the Valentine's event / Transworld. So I picked the theme that would be the absolute easiest to do. And I thought we did a good job. And it's really gory and it's disgusting and all of that. Okay. And it has some cool props and animations in it. But let me tell you something. The haunted house that's in there is not going to be a 16-year haunt like TerrorVision's was. It's not going to be. It's going to be a deal where I can maybe change it in 2 years to something like, I don't know, voodoo theme, okay? Or I could change it into this, or I can change it into that. Because let me tell you what I really did with this haunt over here. I created the infrastructure. I created the foundation so that in the future, see, because it was a 3D haunt, right? There's a difference in the way that I design 3D haunts. I make them very, like where the scenes are small and they're tight, okay? And it's more emphasis on the artwork, okay? But there's scenes and stuff, but like a lot of hallways. So we wanted to expand the gift store. We sold the TerrorVisions. There's only a handful of ways to make a maze out of that that goes from the end of the real darkness that gets you into the exit, which is where I'm standing. So creating that infrastructure, the wall system, and it's all there now. And then as time goes on, we can put more ceilings in and we can expand it. We can make it look prettier and just keep going in that direction. Now, if you said, okay, well, after Krampus, we're going to take all the props out and we're going to retheme it. Well, guess what I don't have to do? First off, I don't have to take any walls out. I don't have to move any sound equipment at all. Nothing. Okay, I would leave all that where it is, just change the audio. I wouldn't have to build any walls. I wouldn't have to build any structures. I wouldn't have to build any ramps. I wouldn't have to do any of that. I would just replace the scenes. Could that be done in 5 weeks? Well, I can tell you this. The scenes would look 3 to 4 times better if all we had to do was the scenes and not build the walls, not carry up all the materials to build the walls. If we didn't have to put in all the electric all over again, okay? And there's many pieces of that haunt I would not change, like the really tight, confusing, winding hallway. I would leave that, okay? So that would stay forever, okay? I don't think I would ever take the tunnel out, so that would always stay. So it would just be changing the theme. And it would be much easier to do. So I might leave it as a butcher theme for a year or two, and then I'll figure out like, oh, okay, let's change it to an asylum. I'm just throwing something out there. Okay, well, I have the infrastructure of the maze. It's really just about creating the scenes. So we can do a much better job creating scenes where the only thing you're doing is creating the detail. So what we did in 5 weeks was build the maze, put the electric in, emergency lights in, everything, just everything. Now I'm going to tell you a quick story, okay? I build mini golfs for people, and we do a fantastic job. And then when I decided to build my own mini golf, that was the first time that I had to gut the space, clean the space, paint the space, put carpet in the space, put black lights in, put the electric in, and everything else. I had to do that on top of building the mini golf. And I'll tell you what happened. We put the mini golf in, and people hated it. And then after I went in there again, I was like, wow, this thing does really kind of suck. And it's just not done right. But that was the first time where we did everything. So basically, for all you people out there that are do-it-yourselfers, you know, you got to let people do what they do the best, okay? And then when you only have to focus on one aspect of putting that mini golf in other words, if we would have just focused on building the great mini golf, that's what we would have done. But no, we were trying to build the space out on top of put in the golf. And the golf ended up being mediocre. When I think about this haunted house back here, we had to do both. We had to actually do 3 things. We had to get an old haunt out, we had to clean it, we had to get it all like designed, and we had to put all the walls up, the maze up. We had to figure it all out. And then to try to rush to put scenes in it. The scenes were literally the last thing that we even thought about. And we just made it up. And every scene was based on, well, let's figure out what we could do fast. So when you think about it from that perspective, it turned out fantastic. But is it fantastic? Nah, not really. It's okay. It's okay. But now the infrastructure is in place so that if I want to start promoting to the people who love the darkness and say, well, this year we have a new asylum, we have a voodoo haunt, we have a sea captain haunt, you know, because when you think about that, the car that could easily be turned into a boat. It could literally be anything now because it's just a matter of changing the scenes. It's still going to be work, but it would cost a lot less, take a lot less effort, and all the effort is put into creating the scenes, not building the maze, not to mention moving a mountain of materials upstairs. So you'd still be moving props out, moving props in, and that's going to be a pain in the ass, but so much easier, so much easier. So I just wanted to say, because I'd never really talked about that the plan for this space is now that it's not a 3D type of maze, it could literally change. It could change every couple years, every 2-3 years. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Because when you think about it, it's only like, how many rooms is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 6 rooms. That's it. Very easy to do. Very easy to do. So that's exactly what will happen. Okay? Then it's gonna give us marketing materials. So, but we'll let it run the way it is for this year and next year, for sure. And I think that we'll focus on a couple like areas in the physical darkness itself that really need help, okay? And clean up a couple spots and run another year and then go, oh, okay. Well, we've done the butcher shop for 2 years. It's time to change it. And by the way, is it really a butcher shop? I mean, not really. It's just super gory. You know, I don't have like, I didn't build a entry room that looks like a butcher shop. You know, it would be white and counters and freezers where you can see the meat. It doesn't have any of that stuff. It has a kitchen in it. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's really not a butcher shop, but we're just saying it's a gory haunted house. That's what it is. It's an extremely disgusting and gory haunted house. But the infrastructure was the hardest part to do. And the scenes were actually the easiest because we decided on how to build the scenes based on expediency. Okay, you know, we wanted to do it quick and fast. So anyway, hope you like this video, and I hope that we're helping the haunted house industry learn. And I do hope that Transworld can go a different direction with the education. I think that's needed. Or just let them keep doing 60 scares in 60 minutes, and the people who do the seminar don't even own haunts. Why not? It makes perfect sense, right? No, not really. And I'll just keep making these videos. And you know what some people said, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Just going to throw it out there. Some people said that I should do videos where I invite people on, and then we do like a, I don't know, like a Zoom kind of thing where I can record it and I can interview people and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that. So maybe somebody could reach out to me and explain to me how to do that, and I will. I'll have guests on and we'll talk about whatever topic it is. So it'll be like ongoing education. Ongoing education. Would you guys like that if I did that? I will do it. Somebody reaches out to me, sorry, I'm trying to get this coat on, and explains to me like what I need to do. Then we can do a test run, and then I'll start getting guests on, and I'll start recording them and uploading them to the channel where I interview people, kind of like Joe Rogan has guests on, and I'll do that. So somebody reach out to me and explain it to me, and I'll 100% do it. Now, lastly, let me just say that we're all done here at the Darkness for 2025. Our focus is moving to Creepy World, and it's been quite the undertaking. But we've already started piddling around out there. So we could see a shift in videos back to Creepy World. And by the way, we're going to be looking for a couple animation techs to work with us this summer and Halloween season. If that's you, reach out, because we're definitely going to be looking for some people. So let us know, and we'll talk to you soon right here from the Darkness. And everyone, you take care, and we'll see you soon right here, as you can see, from the Darkness. Which, by the way, I want to say that I plan on doing more with this room. I have a big update to this room that we're going to do before Transworld next year. And I'm going to be going to the Mask Fest in Cincinnati to do it. And while I'm there, I'm going to go visit the Dent Schoolhouse again. So until then, we'll see you soon, and happy haunting.